to make a friendship bracelet today. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Rosie. I was a senior staff counselor at Claggett for a long time, and Claggett is my family, and I wanted to send a little love your way. So I am going to show you guys how to make a bracelet. I call it the Zigzag bracelet. Other people might call it something different, but it looks like this. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to make this super cool friendship bracelet. The first thing you want to do is pick out your colors, and don't worry, my colors are clearly extremely organized. So you're going to want 3 colors that you like and 1 color that you don't care about at all. These are going to be my 3 colors that I like, and then I'm going to use this brown for the color that I don't care about because I hardly ever use brown. So this can go away for the moment, and what you're going to do is measure out your string. So what I always do for basically any bracelet is measure the string using my arm span from the tip of one finger all the way out to the shoulder of my other arm. So I'm going to do that now. And you know what? Sometimes you have to give up on yarn or string and try a different color because it's way too tangled, and that's life. Here we go. Pull it out again from the tips of your finger, pull your arm straight, and then to my other shoulder. That's about how much yarn or string rather I use. Cut them all off. And I do want 1 more string that is a color that I don't care about. You can see about how much string I have now. That's about how much string I have. So I am going to fold it over just like this. So I usually pull it like this and make a nice loop at the top. The ends are even at the bottom. At least that's the goal. And I make a nice loop at the top. So I have 1 finger through. Leave a little space. Pinch it all together. Make another loop. And tie a knot through. So it's just like a regular shoelace knot, but I'm gonna leave a loop at the top. So that way when I'm tying it on a friend's wrist, it makes it easier to tie on. That's my top. Then I'm going to tape this down to the table with some Scotch tape. You can tape it down to a water bottle. I've seen some people hook the loop around things. It doesn't much matter. You just need a steady anchoring point. So that way, when you pull on the strings, they don't go anywhere. So that's all ready to go. We are ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out the 2 strings that are the color that we don't want to see. So you'll notice now we have 2 strings of every color. So the 2 strings of the color we don't want to see are going to go all the way on the right. Then we're just going to put our colors, we're going to lay them out on the table in whatever order we want. So I'm going to do, and the same colors go together. So I'm going to do green, and then pink in the middle, and then blue on the outside. And don't worry too much if the top of your bracelet looks a little crazy, because when you pull the knots tight, it won't be able to show. I've got my strings all laid out. So for this one, for the zigzag, these 2 are going to act as sort of the base. And what we're doing is we're just going to take each of these strings over the base strings, and back the other direction. So I'm going to start with this of my first of my colors, and I'm going to make a 4 shape. This is the shape that you use for every friendship bracelet for all time. It's just a basic knot. So you make a 4, think of it like a 4, and then we're going to put this string underneath the brown, like that, just like that. So I made a 4, I'm pulling it underneath the brown. I'm going to pull this brown tight and then pull the green tight on top of the brown. And it's important that you want the brown to be tight because that's how the string, that's how you know which color is going to be on top. So when I do it, I usually do it like this, where I have the bass string in my finger like this. I make a nice little hook for the 4. I come around, pull this through, and then on top. And you want to do it 2 times. Otherwise the knot is too small and it won't show up. 2 times. Then I'm going to take this same string and do it 2 times all over here. So I've got a 4 shape. Pull it through once, pull it through twice. There we go. Now I'm going to do that same process the entire time for all of the rest of the strings in this order. So I'm going to take my next green, over, last one right here. You can get really quick at it once you have a lot of practice. There's no rush. Part of the fun of friendship bracelets is that the whole time that you're making the bracelet, you can think about the other person and how it's going to make them happy. So right now the pattern doesn't look like much of anything on this side because it's the first time that we've done the pattern. But you can see that on this side, all of our colors are nicely lined up. So here's the part that makes it zigzag. Now we're going to do the same exact thing. We're just going to do it in this direction. So I'm going to take that same string that I just used. We're going to go in backwards order. So I'm going to take that same string that I just used, and instead of making a 4 like this, I'm going to make a backwards 4. So basically, we just want the blue string to end up wrapped on top of the brown instead of the other way around. So as long as you hold the brown tight the whole time, you should be okay. So we're making a knot on top of the brown, just like that. And you can see my backwards 4. It's a little harder for me on this side because I'm not right-handed. Back across both strings. Again, we're just going in reverse order, so the same colors always go next to each other. Just like that. So you can see I kind of pull the string out, around and up, out, around and up, just like that. So now you're starting to see the pattern evolve. So it's going to look just like that the entire way down. You've got a nice little zigzag going, and on the back you have a little wave. That's another reason why I really like this pattern, is that the back and the front look different, but they both look really cool. Some bracelets look like there's clearly a wrong side and a right side, but I like that this bracelet looks cool no matter which side it kind of flips to on your wrist. So I'm going to keep going with this, and then I will show you the end of the bracelet when I get to the bottom. And so what I like to do is once I get to a point where I think I'm making some good progress, I kind of measure it against my own wrist and see how far does it measure up to where the hoop is. And this one might be a little bit short, but I also would rather it be a little bit short than a little bit long. So when I get to a length that I kind of like, what I do is I make a knot through the whole thing. And I can kind of twist it up a little bit sometimes just to get all the strings together. I make a knot through all of the strings and pull it up. Sometimes you have to kind of loosen the knot and then tighten it up against the pattern. And then I always do the pattern and then a little bit of braided section here, so that way they can kind of adjust like how long they want it to be on their wrist. And that way too, if they need more space, they have it, but if they want to just like cut off some of the braid, they can always kind of cut off some of the braid and it won't mess up the pattern. So I like to do a little braid at the end. So I'm just going to divide the colors up, and you will have the brown showing in the braid, but nobody really notices that. And I'm going to kind of intermingle it in with the other fun colors. So for a basic braid, you just divide all your strings into 3 sections, and you're just going to put the one over top of the middle and then the other one onto over top of the middle. So right over the middle, left over the middle, right over the middle, left over the middle. Then, once I've got it to a nice length that I want there, I just do the same thing where I put all of it into a knot again. So the whole thing, I'm going to make a nice little loop. And this is going to be a little tricky now because you don't have a lot of string left. But you got to just be patient with yourself. So, now I've got that little knot. And I just pull it tight. And then I'm going to cut off the end, and they've got a couple of kind of different lengths. Ideally, I would have cut all of these strings to be the same length, but Rosie kind of goofed up. The string that you never actually weave, that one's always going to be longer, but these ones should all kind of be the same length. But, you know, no one's perfect. But now I'm going to just cut off the extra string. And there you have it. So that is the final product. I call this the zigzag pattern. I don't know what it's actually called, but I think it's really fun. I like it because it's a little different, but it's actually super fast to make because as you can see, all this length right here, I didn't actually have to weave. So that's what it looks like on the front. That's what it looks like on the back. So I hope you guys have fun.
The great thing about friendship bracelets is that the whole point is to show your friend that you care about them. So if you make someone something special, they will appreciate it. So spread the love. And a very important thing you should know about friendship bracelets is that when you tie it on, the person who received the bracelet gets to make a wish. And when it falls off, the wish will come true. Have a great summer, and I will see you guys soon.